Finally, at the last minute, we trade Victor Oladipo. Let's go. We needed to get rid of him. It's a good thing he's gone, but oh my God, what did we get back? We got practically nothing. God. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on Mana Sports Talk. Like I said, Victor Oladipo just got traded from Houston. Just a quick little recap and reaction to this as a Rockets fan. Obviously, it has been crazy. The trade deadline was today. Literally, I thought they're not going to trade Oladipo because it got past 2 o'clock Central was the deadline. But then we get news a couple of minutes after that Oladipo has just been traded to the Miami Heat. So that was kind of crazy. It came after that. I guess the deal was being finalized at the last minute. They got it done. But either way, here's the deal in total. Miami receives Victor Oladipo, and the Rockets, they receive Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk in a 2022 first-round draft pick swap. That's it. That's it, literally. There's nothing else that the Rockets got for Victor Oladipo. Honestly, it is a steal for the Miami Heat. It is a steal. Pat Riley, the GM for the Heat, did a great job getting Victor Oladipo. Obviously, these two have been in talks for a long time, and they finally got it done. Obviously, Victor Oladipo did not want to be here in Houston. Obviously, we're all kind of tanking. We're kind of like the worst record in the league almost, not winning games. Oladipo always wanted to go to the Heat. Now he goes to his favorite destination. The Heat always wanted to have him, so that got done. Again, the Rockets are only getting Bradley, Olynyk, and a 2022 first-round pick swap. That's it. It's practically nothing. In the pick swap, the Heat are probably going to make the playoffs, so it would be around maybe maybe 22, 23 to maybe, and you would reach 22 to 23 in the lottery instead of, what would it be? Maybe like 30, 33 or something. It's not a big jump. 10 draft picks probably. But either way, the Rockets got practically nothing. It was a snipe deal for the Miami Heat. They were just able to get Victor Oladipo for a really, really cheap price. For barely almost anything for the Heat. It wasn't really too much for the Heat to give away to get Victor Oladipo. They hardly had to give away anything. Olynyk, yeah, he's their center. And power forward, he comes in off the bench. Avery Bradley, he has never been healthy the whole time. He's still a veteran guard. They gave away those two for a younger Victor Oladipo, an all-star player who's still recovering from injury, by the way. But he's still coming back from injury, so he's not fully 100%, but he's still a pretty valuable player. He's a two-way player, so he's pretty valuable for the Miami Heat. And we're going to relate this to the James Harden trade right now. Obviously, that was a big shock. I made a video on that as well. Now, if you think about the James Harden trade in full circle, Victor Oladipo was part of that trade that the Rockets got. It was terrible. I mean, it was really bad in the kind of players that we were receiving back for James Harden. It is not good at all. The fact that the Rockets got they got no great players from this deal. Rafael Stone, the GM of the Rockets, he made a mistake here. This is a little bit of a mistake. Obviously, hardly getting much back for Victor Oladipo. It was shocking to hear. I was like, fine, they traded him, that's great, but now look what we got. It wasn't really the best trade option, really. There was no Duncan Robinson involved, no Kendrick Nunn, maybe. Some sort of younger player or a bright future player. Avery Bradley, he's older, on the older side. Same thing with Olynyk. Not even like a protected first-round pick or something like that. It's just a pick swap. So for James Harden, the Houston Rockets got 4 first-round picks and 5 first-round pick swaps, plus Dante Exum, Avery Bradley, and Kelly Olynyk. Seriously. For a once-in-a-generational talent, arguably the greatest offensive scorer you'll ever see, James Harden, we receive 3 players who are average right now. And then 4 first-round picks, that's great. 5 first-round pick swaps, that's great. But the picks are fine. The Rockets got a boatload of picks. That's not my problem. That's great. The fact is they hardly got any sort of player value from it. That's the issue. The other problem is that Rafael Stone, he had Jared Allen and Karis LeVert waiting for him, for the trade to James Harden. The Rockets literally could have had Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and maybe a couple of first-round picks and a couple of first-round pick swaps. That would be pretty good. Jared Allen's a young center who has a very bright future. LeVert is an excellent, young, bright a guard who's going to be really great in this league. But unfortunately, we didn't do that. We got Exum, Kuruks, who's now with the Bucks, and Oladipo, who's now with the Heat. And then all the picks. We literally traded to get Oladipo. We traded LeVert in the second-round pick to get Oladipo, and then we traded Oladipo for a first-round pick swap and 2 players. It's not good. I just don't like the way this was handled at the end. I mean, overall, Rafael Stone has done a decent job, but this is not what I expected. Now look, Oladipo, obviously the Heat needed him. They both wanted each other, and now they're going to try and work on a longer extension in the off-season. And Victor Oladipo, he's a hard-working player. He's going to love the work ethic down there in Miami. Jimmy Butler plays his players really hard. That's going to be great. He's going to be a great fit in Miami. With that defense, he's a great defensive player, two-way player. Now Miami has a big 3. Victor Oladipo, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo. The Heat are now in the conversation in the East, although the Nets are probably going to be the biggest threat right now. And I think the Heat can go with the Bucks. They can go with the Sixers. The Heat are in it now. That's what I think. And obviously you have Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, Andre Iguodala, Mo Harkless, Trevor Ariza. I mean, you have a lot of players who can come in here. Oladipo, we know what he gives you. He gives you 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. That's really good. He'll give you 20 points pretty much every game. He averaged 21 points per game here in Houston. Only 33% from 3. I think that is going to go up because he really wanted to play for Miami. He's going to love it there. So that percentage is going to go up. 41% from field. I think all of these are going to go up. Thing is, he misses a lot of easy shots. Obviously, down here in Houston, I don't know how he was feeling. I think in Miami, he's going to feel great and rejuvenated. But obviously, the issue is he's still not back from injury. You don't know how the injury issues are going to play out. He's like 90% back. We'll see. Hopefully, he stays healthy. That's the one thing with Oladipo. You have to make sure he stays healthy. Other thing with Oladipo, he averages about 2 turnovers a game, under 80% from the free throw line. That will improve. I think he'll be much more careful. He's a great defensive player, gets a lot of steals, 1.5 steals a game. That's who the Heat are getting in a player, which is really great to see the Heat do that. They needed to make a move to jump higher in the East. Now for the Rockets, they receive Avery Bradley, a 6'2 shooting guard. Obviously 30 years old, a veteran. He's been on the Lakers, the Heat, the Celtics, a lot of teams. Obviously not as good as he used to be. He only played 10 games this year for the Heat. He was injured. Now he's healthy. At least the Rockets are getting a healthy Bradley. He averages close to 9 points per game. He's a good 3-point shooter, close to 40% from 3, 46% from the field, 80% from the free throw line. He's a solid shooter, but once again, he's a role player meant for a contending team. I think the Rockets are just gathering a lot of trading pieces to get rid of, honestly. That's what's going on right now. And then Kelly Olynyk, he can be a center at 6'11". At least that's good for the Rockets. They need another center. He can shoot, make threes. That's okay. He's an athletic center, 29 years old. Only 31% from 3. It was a big drop from last year where he was like close to 41% from 3, which is not good. He was 43% from the field, 78% from the free throw line. And this was a major drop from last year. Last year he was great, 86% from the free throw line. He was much better last year, averages about 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists per game. I mean, the Rockets need a center. They got Olynyk, Oladipo instead of Bradley. I'd much rather have Oladipo. It wasn't a good trade. They didn't get enough back. Obviously, we need to get rid of him. They just didn't get enough back. And that's the problem. The Rockets got to make the right picks in the draft. If they can get all the right picks in the draft, get the right players to draft, they'll be great. Obviously, they have a great future and stuff, but this could have handled much better, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and rate the Oladipo trade probably a D-, honestly. It wasn't that great of a trade. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go down, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, enable notifications. I hope you enjoyed this video. And please go down in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the Oladipo trade? And I hope to see you in the next video.